So are you ready to work my favorite lower body exercise? Yep, you heard it right. It is my favorite. I love lunges. And the reason I love them, it's like multitasking exercise. You work your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, your calves, and actually it's an aerobic exercise as well. You're going to get that heart rate up because you're moving your major muscle groups. So let's talk form first, shall we? When you're setting yourself up for the lunge, think that you are on railroad tracks. So take a look down at your feet. Make sure they're in line with your knees. Knees with hip sockets. So when we say hip distance, it is not wider than your hips. You want to keep it directly under, and you'll engage your core better that way. You won't dump. Okay? So that's the alignment we're looking for. If you narrow your base, it's almost like a surfboard, and trust me, lunges are challenging the balance enough when we step back and forward. So you want to make sure you're on your railroad tracks. So I'm going to turn to the side now and show you what this looks like to set up the distance from front to back. First of all, put your hands on your hips and make sure your hips are square. The hip points are like headlights. Let's talk about the front leg. Heel presses down. You should be able to lift up your toes, your knees right in line with that. And the thigh bone injects into the pelvis. The back foot, the toes are curled under, the heel's lifted. It's always going to be lifted. The left hip, my left hip bone's pointing forward, so the tailbone drops down, the belly kind of zips up like you're putting some blue jeans on. And I'm going to have you put your hands on your thigh to let your heart lift. So the ears over your shoulders, shoulders over the hips, hips over the knee. Now you want to make sure you're on those railroad tracks, that your base is not narrow. Hands pressed down to lift you up. Take it slow the first time and have a counter handy if this is a new exercise for you. Remember, the hip points are forward. We're going to simply drop down and lift up. Now you don't have to touch your knee down. You might just do a little drop. Feel that tuck, feel that you're going for 90 degrees and press up. You're going to engage and stretch, and quads are engaged, hip flexors stretch, glutes engaged. Okay, so that's how we're going to start it out. You can start adding one arm. So as you exhale up, press into the feet, stretch the arm up. Inhale, bring the arm down. Exhale up. Yes, breath work is important on this to pump oxygen through these big muscles. Inhale and exhale. So that's a single leg lunge, and I did it in a reverse setup. Now we're going to add on to that. So I'm going to now bring my right leg back, just to give that one some time to work. Square up the hips, check the front heel, the knee, the hip socket, the back toes engaged. Think about the ears, shoulder, hip alignment. Okay? So from here, take a deep breath in. Exhale, press up. You should have your front and back distance. Feel what that feels like. You're going to inhale. Now on the exhale, push off your toes and tap forward. You can put the foot down. I like to keep it slightly lifted, so I remember to keep the heel lifted. Inhale, drop. Exhale, lift. This is your safe reverse lunge. If you have pain in the front knee, you're probably shifting forward. So dig into this front heel as you push up. We can add arm work to this. Both arms up, both arms down. Both arms could come wide and they can reach forward. Now you want to add more into this. Alternate left and right leg. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Full sweeps, got it? So play around with this move. Already my heart rate is going up on this. Is that good or bad? Anyhow, I hope this really helped you to understand the mechanics of a lunge and how effective they are to work all your major muscle groups of your legs, besides the most important muscle of all, your heart. Let me know if you have any questions. Start off with the 5 to 10 reps each leg just in the lunge. Add on to it to reverse the lunge one leg at a time. Then kick it up a notch to alternate left and right leg. then add your arm work. See, you can just progress. Start slow. Learn to love the lunges as much as I do. Thanks for joining me today.